The challenge of dominion. The Indomitable cut through the black of space like a predator moving through tall grass. Commander Rhea Kastner stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the massive Galactic Council station looming ahead. The station was a marvel of alien engineering, a 12-pointed star of gleaming blue-white metal, each arm housing representatives from one of the major civilizations that comprise the Council. Transmission from the station, Commander, Lieutenant Wei said from his communications console. They're asking for our docking protocols. Rhea nodded, her expression neutral despite the tension, nodding her shoulders. Send them what they need, but remain at combat readiness. The Indomitable was humanity's newest and most advanced warship. Nearly a kilometer in length, its sleek black hull was designed to absorb rather than reflect sensor suites. While not officially a stealth vessel, the Council had expressly forbidden such technology. It pushed the boundaries of the treaties humanity had signed upon joining the galactic community 50 years ago. Council control is granting us docking permission, Wei announced. Arm 8, Berth 4. Rhea couldn't help but notice the significance. Arm 8 housed the representatives of the youngest, least influential species. A subtle insult, perhaps, but one she would ignore for now. Earth needed allies, not enemies. Take us in, Lieutenant Grimes, she ordered. Nice and easy. As the Indomitable approached its designated berth, Rhea was struck by the sheer diversity of vessels surrounding the station. Crystalline ships of the Vex Collective caught the light of the nearby star and fractured it into rainbows. The organic-looking vessels of the Thrax hegemony pulsed with an inner bioluminescence, and the perfect geometric forms of the Solari Republic gleamed like polished mirrors. In this company, the Indomitable looked almost primitive, all hard angles and exposed weapon ports. But Rhea knew appearances were deceiving. The ship represented the culmination of human innovation, incorporating both Earth's native technology and careful adaptations of alien advances they'd been permitted to study. Docking complete, Commander, Grimes reported. Very good. Rhea turned to her XO. Commander Victor Sandoval. You have the con, Victor. Keep the crew at yellow alert. I don't expect trouble, but let's not be caught unprepared. Victor nodded, his weathered face serious. The Council rarely calls emergency sessions, Rhea. Whatever this is about, it can't be good for us. I know, she replied quietly. That's why I need you here, ready to extract us if things go sideways. An hour later, Rhea stood in the center of the Council chamber, surrounded by representatives of the 12 founding species. Each sat upon an elevated platform that accommodated their unique physiologies. The chamber was deliberately intimidating, a vast dome with the representatives' seats arranged in a circle, forcing whoever addressed them to turn constantly to maintain eye contact. High Arbiter Zexka of the Solari Republic gavelled the session to order, a tall, slender being with silver skin and eyes that glowed with an inner light. Zexka was known for his measured fairness, even toward younger species like humanity. This emergency session has been called to address serious allegations against the Earth Alliance, Zexka announced, his melodious voice carrying effortlessly through the chamber. Representative Thrandur of the Vex Collective will present the evidence. Thrandur, a crystalline being whose body refracted light into dazzling patterns, moved to the center of the chamber. Without preamble, he activated a holographic display that filled the air above them. These images were captured by our long-range sensors 3 cycles ago. Thrandir's voice was sharp, like glass grinding against glass. They show the human vessel Indomitable engaging in weapons tests in the Arcturus system, tests that violate no fewer than 7 provisions of the Technology Limitation Treaty. The hologram showed the Indomitable firing what appeared to be a coherent energy weapon of immense power, far beyond anything humanity had acknowledged possessing. Rhea kept her face impassive despite her shock. The footage was impressive and completely fabricated. The Indomitable had been nowhere near Arcturus 3 cycles ago, and it possessed no weapon system remotely like what was being shown. High Arbiter, she said calmly, Earth respectfully submits that this evidence has been falsified. The Indomitable was conducting routine patrols in the Procyon system during the time in question, as our flight logs will confirm. Logs can be altered, hissed Krisa of the Thrax hegemony, their mandibles clicking in agitation. The evidence is clear. Humanity has violated the trust of this council and developed prohibited weaponry. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber, and Rie felt the situation slipping away from her. Something wasn't right. This felt orchestrated, a carefully planned move against Earth. "I request a full investigation," she said firmly. "These accusations are serious, and we deny them categorically. The Earth Alliance has honored every treaty we've signed." Zexka raised a hand for silence. "The Council has already voted, Commander Kastner, 7-5 in favor of immediate sanctions against Earth. All human vessels, including the Indomitable, are to be impounded pending a full investigation. Your crew will be detained but treated with dignity." Ria felt her blood run cold. They had voted before even hearing Earth's defense. This wasn't justice. It was a setup. On what grounds? She demanded, protocol forgotten in her outrage. "You've shown us doctored footage and moved to judgment without allowing us to present contradictory evidence. This isn't a trial. It's a farce. Watch your tone, human," Krisa warned. "Your kind is young and impetuous. Perhaps this will teach you humility." Ria's wrist communicator vibrated. A prearranged signal from Victor. Something was happening. She discreetly checked the message. "Council vessels moving to blockade positions around Indomitable. Security teams preparing to board." In that moment, everything became clear. This wasn't just about false accusations. It was about seizing Earth's most advanced ship. But why? Who stood to gain? As if in answer to her unspoken question, her communicator vibrated again. This time it was data. Sensor readings from the Indomitable, showing unusual energy signatures emanating from the Thrax vessels surrounding them. The same energy signature visible in the falsified weapon test footage. "High Arbiter," Ria said, fighting to keep her voice steady. "I think I understand what's happening here. The weapon technology shown in that footage doesn't belong to humanity. It belongs to the Thrax hegemony." She activated her own holographic projector, displaying the Indomitable's sensor readings. "These readings were taken moments ago. The Thrax vessels surrounding my ship are generating the same energy signature seen in the alleged weapons test." The chamber erupted in chaos as representatives shouted questions and accusations. Krisa rose to their full height, mandibles flaring in what Ria recognized as a gesture of extreme threat. "This is outrageous." Krisa's voice cut through the din. "The human fabricates evidence to deflect from their own crimes." But Ria noticed something crucial. Several of the council representatives were examining the data with growing concern, particularly those from the scientifically advanced species. Zexka raised his gavel, hammering for order. "These are serious counter-allegations, Commander Kastner. If true." "They're not," Krisa interrupted. "The human lies." "Then why are your vessels preparing to fire those same weapons at my ship right now?" Ria challenged, pointing to updated readings from the Indomitable. The tension in the chamber was palpable. Ria knew she had seconds to act before the situation exploded into violence. "High Arbiter, the Earth Alliance has honored its commitments to this council for 50 years, she said firmly. "Today, we've been accused without evidence, condemned without trial, and now face unprovoked aggression. Under these circumstances, I must respectfully withdraw from these proceedings and secure the safety of my vessel and crew." Without waiting for a response, she activated her emergency recall signal. The Indomitable's transporter locked onto her position, and the council chamber dissolved in a shimmer of light. Ria rematerialized on the bridge of the Indomitable amid frantic activity. "Status report," she barked, moving swiftly to her command chair. 6 Thrax vessels have taken up attack positions, Victor reported. "They're charging weapons. 3 Vex cruisers are moving to cut off our escape vector. Defensive posture only," Ria ordered. "No first strikes." Get us out of here. Maximum thrust. Set course for the Bermuda Nebula. The Indomitable's engines roared to life, pulling away from the docking berth with deliberate haste rather than panic. The last thing Rhea wanted was to appear as if they were fleeing out of guilt. "Commander," Lieutenant Wei called, "we're being hailed by High Arbiter Zexka." On screen, Rhea replied, straightening her uniform. Zexka's silver features appeared, his glowing eyes intense. "Commander Kastner, your actions border on diplomatic incident. Return to the station immediately." "With respect, High Arbiter, I cannot place my crew in danger," Rhea answered. "The sensor readings don't lie. The Thrax vessels are armed with prohibited technology and prepared to fire on us. This situation can be resolved peacefully," Zexka insisted. "Return, and I give you my personal guarantee of safety." Before Rhea could respond, alarms blared across the bridge. "Energy spike from the Lid Thrax vessel," shouted the tactical officer. "They're firing." "Evasive maneuvers," Rhea ordered. "Return fire only if directly hit." The Indomitable banked hard, barely avoiding the searing beam of energy that lanced through space where they had been moments before. The shot continued, striking one of the Council station's unoccupied arms and slicing through it with terrifying ease. Zexka's expression shifted from diplomatic calm to genuine shock. "By the Founders. Now do you believe me?" Rhea asked grimly. "We're not the threat here, Arbiter." The communication cut off as the Indomitable accelerated away from the station, 3 Thrax warships in hot pursuit. The ship shuddered as a glancing blow struck their aft shields. "Shields at 87%, reported the tactical officer. "They're faster than we expected." "Divert auxiliary power to engines," Rhea commanded. "We need to reach the nebula. The radiation will mask our signature and neutralize their targeting systems." As the Indomitable pushed its engines to their limits, the stars on the view screen began to blur. The pursuing vessels fired again and again, but each shot fell wider of the mark as the distance between them grew. "We're approaching the nebula perimeter," Grimes announced from the helm. 30 seconds to entry." Rhea gripped the arms of her command chair. "Steady as she goes, Lieutenant." The view screen shifted from the blackness of space to a swirling maelstrom of purple and blue gases as the Indomitable plunged into the Bermuda Nebula. The pursuing ships hesitated at the boundary, unwilling to follow. "They're breaking off pursuit," Victor confirmed, maintaining position at the nebula's edge. A collective exhalation of relief passed through the bridge crew, but Rhea didn't relax. They had escaped immediate danger, but they were now effectively fugitives from the Galactic Council, the very authority they had sworn to respect. "Take us deeper," she ordered. "Find us a place to hide and regroup." As the Indomitable ventured further into the nebula's concealing embrace, the ship's sensors detected something unexpected. A massive structure floating amid the cosmic dust and radiation. "Commander," the science officer called, excitement in her voice, "I'm picking up readings consistent with ancient technology. It appears to be some kind of station or outpost, possibly predating the Council itself." Rhea stared at the readings, a plan beginning to form in her mind. If they couldn't prove their innocence through diplomacy, perhaps they could find evidence among the stars. "Set a course for that structure," she ordered. "Let's see what secrets it holds." The Indomitable glided toward the mysterious station, its black hull now wreathed in the nebula's glowing gases. Whatever lay ahead might hold the key not just to clearing Earth's name, but to understanding why they had been targeted in the first place. As they drew closer, Rhea couldn't shake the feeling that they were being pulled toward this discovery by something greater than chance, as if destiny itself had intervened to bring humanity face to face with its true place in the galactic order. The Reckoning. The ancient station hung motionless in the swirling purple haze of the Bermuda Nebula, a massive structure built of unfamiliar alloys that seemed to absorb rather than reflect light. From a distance, it resembled a vast wheel with spokes connecting to a central hub, but as the Indomitable drew closer, the crew could see that parts of it were damaged. torn open by some cataclysmic event centuries or even millennia ago. Preliminary scans complete, Commander, reported Lieutenant Kamala Desai from the science station. The structure appears to be at least 50,000 years old, predating all known Council civilizations. Internal atmosphere is thin but breathable. Minimal power signatures, but definitely still operational at some level. Rhea studied the station on the view screen, her mind racing with possibilities. Any signs of life? Negative, Kamala replied. But there are energy patterns consistent with automated systems in a dormant state. Commander Victor Sandoval moved to Rhea's side, speaking quietly. This could be our chance, Rhea. If this station predates the Council, it might contain historical records or technology that could help our situation. Rhea nodded slowly. Or it could be a death trap. But we're short on options and time. She turned to address the bridge crew. I'm leading an away team to investigate. Victor, you have the con. If the Council forces find us, don't wait. Take the Indomitable deeper into the nebula. With respect, Commander, Victor began. Protocol suggests. Protocol went out the airlock when we were falsely accused and fired upon. Rhea interrupted firmly. We need answers, and we need them quickly. 30 minutes later, Rhea led a team of 6 through the station's cavernous main airlock. The interior was dimly lit by emergency lighting that had been functioning for millennia, casting long shadows across curved corridors made of the same light-absorbing material as the exterior.